Hello, my name is Sahil Kumar, roll number 2201 CS60, and today I'll be demonstrating the implementation of the assignment 7 database access control mechanism. As you can see at the top, I've implemented OSRE for regular expression, SQLite 3 for actual database connection, and datetime to capture real-time steps dynamically. The first core component is the access control matrix. I have defined a permission dictionary that clearly suggests privilege based on our users, roles, admin, editor, and viewers. For example, editor has select, insert, and update access to a student info, but a viewer is restricted strictly to a select query operation. Moving to our main access control class, during the initialization, I established the connections to an in-memory SQLite database. In the setup database method, I create a real stored input table and dynamically inserted 50 sample records with a branch CSA. This ensures our SQL query results are not just hard-coded but are being returned from a live database executions. Here we have a security layer, the check permission method verify if a role is authorized to perform a specific operation on a given table by checking against our permission dictionary. Next, the validate and sanitized method provides our SQLites as well injection defense. It uses a rigorous pattern like checking for a classic comma or like 1 payload to detect and block malicious input before they even reach the database. The bulk of the logic is handled by a execute query method, which acts as our security query builder. When a query is attempted, it first handed permission checks. If a user is unauthorized, the query is immediately rejected and logged as a security violation. If a user has permission, the system then passes any input filter through our validation check. If malicious inputs is detected, the system blocks the query entirely and simulate a user's logout to protect system. Finally, if everything passes, we execute the query using the parameterized statement to guarantee safety. I pass the filter column and value and use standard question marks placeholder for a SQLite parameterization. Cursor.execute then faces real records, outputting the exact number of result matches rather than spoofed numbers. Every now go to the log query. Every action, whether allowed, denied, or blocked, is recorded by a log query method, leveraging the Python datetime library to capture the real-time moments of execution. The display audit log method then format these logs into a clean, legible table as strictly required by the assignment guidelines. Now let's see this in the actions. The main executions blocks parts these three cases matching the expected output exactly. A successful select query by a editor over 15 actual records and unauthorized delayed attempt by a viewer which gets correctly rejected, and a simulated SQL injection by an attacker which triggered a block. Now let's see let's run the code and see how it's working. This is the database. If the database connection, if the user is editor 1, the rule is editor and it is connected to a MySQL database stored DB, and it will attempt a query like select a start from stored info where does branch is CSE. Then the permission check is allowed because editor can select from student information. For input validation, it is also allowed because CSE is a valid string, and using prepared statement query executed successfully, and results are like 50 records returns. For the attempting unauthorized query, like if the user is viewer one, and if it will attempt query like delete from start information where role equal to CS101, then the permission check is not allowed because viewer cannot delete from the student information, and action is query rejected, logged as a security violation. For the attempting SQL injection, if the input is like comma or like one equal to one, then it will detect like potential SQL injection detection, and the action is like query blocked and user logged out. And now see the audit log updates. For the time, here the time steps are given. Then if the user is editor one, it will if it will write query. This query, if you write select start from start information, then the status is allowed. And if the user is viewer one, then and it will use it will use delete query, then status is denied. And if it is a user is attacker, and it will use one equal to one query, then the status is blocked. Thank you, that's all.